Okay, relax, everyone. We will get to the good stuff. We'll get to the good stuff. I'm not even plugging myself or say, give me money. I'm just want to make a few mental preface notes with Dana where I was being a little bit too nice, frankly. So she made some mistakes with Brett because, listen, if you're going to congratulate yourself on being there early, that's fine. Dana's exaggerating that too. But she was like, you're so dumb. You're so dumb. Just click on the PayPal. Why would I click on his PayPal? I don't know. That's really bad reasoning. But anyway, so Dana's congratulating herself for exposing Brett really early. Kind of yes, kind of no. I think Knife Hoarder and Goot beat her to it, but whatever, that's her fantasy. But she got a few things wrong, as did I. See, the thing is, there's a lot of Bretts. There's a lot of Millers. You have to be careful. That's actually a very common name. Like Frank Miller, right? Frank Miller is the creator of Daredevil. He's a big comic book legend, right? Stan Lee made the character, but really, it's Frank's version that we really read nowadays. And look out on TV, that's really Frank Miller. So is Brett? No, there's no connection as far as I know. It'd be crazy if there were. There's a resemblance, but they're probably just two different guys. It's a bit about it. Frank is a New York guy. Brett, not really New York guy. More just evil criminal SA guy. But anyway, so she made a few mistakes, but it's fine. I made mistakes. We can all grow. So now we're dealing with the larger DOA Kenny war, which Dana was officially a part of until things got screwy. So the basic gist is that DOA, Dana, and Kenny were all united in hating Zero Dark Tony and critical of Aaron Smith-Levin. Although there, Dana was like, she didn't like him, but she was like, she's not invested in that conflict, as far as I know. Although now she seems to be creeping back in. But we'll get to that in another video. Yeah, some really weird things are happening with the Twitter space where I was blocked by Dana. So, I don't know. It's a little weird and all kinds of insanity. So now they seem to have all parted ways. DOA is going his own path, Kenny is going his own path, and Dana's going her own path. And there we are. But once they were kings together and collaborating. So now Kenny's major goal is to destroy DOA. And again, to be fair, he didn't create this, but I still think it's questionable to promote this lie, because I do think up to this point it's a lie. Now, are there questions about DOA? Yes. Are there questions about DOA and his family? Also, yes. Are there questions of DOA and possibly underage victims? That's also a legit question. However, is there any evidence that when his van or RV comes by, he's going to scoop up little children and put them in? No. So there's this advertisement. It is clearly copying from Scientology propaganda. Scientology put out this weird flyer with Scott, and a lot of it was factual, that he is, like Scoville, he's a criminal. However, none of his crimes, which are very real, none of his crimes include victimizing a young girl. There's nothing there on his record with that. Now, has he done things that are questionable with the young folk? Possibly, yes, but there's no evidence that, he's not doing that. There's no evidence of that. But Kenny thought it was laughing, thought it was a cute little subject to bring up on his live that's saying, hey, look, they're putting up these posters with you, boy. They're putting up these posters. That's kind of funny. I think you want to have like some boundaries here. Like Dana doing the same thing. Apparently she's trying to get into Zero Dark Tony's mother's past. I think we got to be very careful. We got to be careful. But now it's out there, right? This poster's real. It's out there. It's apparently circulating. I don't think this is a good idea because it's not true. But hey, that's me. I mean, parody is a thing. Maybe they're just making fun of the guy. I still think it's very nice edge. With Dana, apparently she found that Zero Dark Tony's mother, right, this is the mother, not Tony, that the mother has some kind of business relationship with some Scientologist. That's about it. Okay? I mean, following that own logic, because Dana and Zero Dark Tony used to be working together, was she working with Scientology? No. Of course, she would not accept that. But according to her own logic and bad research, it turns out Zero Dark Tony is connected to Scientology. Okay, would that mean you're connected to Scientology? No, no, no. We get to make up our own rules. Okay. Alrighty then. This just seems a lot of nonsense on all sides. That said, if Kenny wants to be against DOA, have at it. I think it's a little hilarious. The DOA people are pushing back saying, I liked you, Kenny. You were once very loyal. If your biggest counter argument to a cult is your lack of loyalty, Kenny, will be long remembered, that's not a good look. That's not a good look. Saying the DOA cult is a real cult and your response is, you were loyal once. Where's your loyalty now, Kenny? What about loyalty? Yeah, it's not a good way to push your own propaganda. Just my advice, don't push the propaganda that way. It's not a good idea. It's not a good idea. But that's just me. However, I do think Kenny is stepping over the line. Yeah, I don't know why he's obsessing over Mina. And again, granted, she's a little rough. Like, Mina's a DOA supporter. She can be a little rough, right? She can be a little out there. I just think it's hilarious. He doesn't seem to know what she's doing. He's like, you're going away to jail. You're going away to jail. I'm calling Homeland Security. No, stupid. It's the other way around. They're keeping track of you. He's trying to be clever, like erasing the lives. It's like, no, dummy. They're putting it on. You're even confirming it. He's like, yeah, they're looking at me, and I'm looking at me, looking at me. Yeah, dummy. They're setting up a record. I don't know. Kenny's not in a good place. And I do feel a little critical of some recent supporters because they're really pumping him up. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. My verdict of Kenny, he's the same guy. He's just a very questionable activist. And he just yells and screams a lot, puts out a lot of false accusations. And his thing is always the same. Keep my name out your mouth. Keep my name out your mouth. You won't use my name, you better pay me. Use my name, you got to pay me. Okay. Okay, anything else? No, that's Zero Dark Kenny in a nutshell. It's like, keep my name out your mouth. Next step, keep my name out your mouth. Next, keep my name out your mouth. You're going to pay me for using my name. Right. Apparently he thinks he's George Lucas in Star Wars. He can sue everybody for just using their names. It's not exactly how it works. And real legal land, that's not a thing. But we'll keep an eye. I mean, for the most part, I'm not learning anything from these lives. He's yet to produce a single receipt. Like, all this spying and hacking and taking people's information. I mean, listen, we live in a brand new, weird, dangerous world. It could happen. It could be the case, but I'd like some evidence, and so far I haven't gotten any, so it just seems Kenny's just playing at being paranoid. I don't know. Eating, drinking, and smoking, and be like, I'm gonna end you, boy. DOA, you big fat boy. You messed with the wrong Kenny. Well, receipts would really help your case, Kenny. So we're still waiting. And Dana needs to work on her receipts too, because they're kind of like self-contradictory and may lead to paths she herself is saying is not. No. There's no evidence that Dana's a Scientologist, but saying that Zero Dark Tony's mother's in Scientology, therefore Tony's in Scientology. Wouldn't you be in Scientology too? I don't know. It's all getting weird and confusing. But I'm just laughing at everyone here because they're being really quite stupid and silly, in my humble opinion.